Melissa realized they weren't connecting with the audience. They needed to inject some real emotion, some genuine fantasy, into the broadcast. Melissa took Derek aside, encouraging him to stop being so rigid and to put some real passion into his work. The team regrouped and changed tactics. They threw out the old scripts and started improvising, creating fun, sexy, and humorous scenarios. One skit featured a bored housewife whose life is transformed by the lingerie. Another had a police officer getting seduced by a speeding driver. The energy shifted, and the show became genuinely entertaining. The phones started ringing. That's when Melissa made a game-changing announcement live on air.
1000th lingerie order will be allowed to come down here to Lingerie Central to enact your own fantasy.
The effect was instantaneous. The phone lines exploded. Orders for thousands, even 15,000 pieces, started flooding in. Meanwhile, Sanders was watching from his office, fuming. He dispatched a man named James Marshall, claiming to be from the Federal Communications Administration, to shut down the broadcast.
It's illegal to put pornography on national television?
Marshall arrived at the studio, a stuffy bureaucrat ready to bring the hammer down. But he hadn't counted on Amy. As the company lawyer, she met him head-on, engaging him in a brilliant legal debate over the definition of smut. While Amy kept Marshall distracted, the rest of the crew faced another crisis. She decided to clean up, grabbing a fire hose and spraying down the set. Sparks flew, a fire erupted, and the studio was forced to shut down for repairs. It seemed like the final nail in the coffin. But it was Derek who rallied the troops.
And we've almost earned $4 million.
Inspired by his words, they worked through the night, rebuilding the set and getting the station back on the air. A guilt-ridden Sonny had the legal department type in a new clause, one that made Sanders' $4 million verbal buyback offer a legally binding part of the agreement. The deadline arrived. The girls walked into the inner global boardroom for the final meeting. Sanders was smug, surrounded by his international board members. He slid the final papers across the table, informing them that he had taken the liberty of removing their positions from the company. Then Melissa played her hand. She placed a cashier's check for $4 million squarely on the table. Sanders' jaw dropped. That's when Amy calmly pointed to the new clause in the contract he was about to sign. The chairman, a stern-looking man, broke into a smile. He revealed that he himself had purchased several items from their telethon for his wife. He was disgusted by Sanders' deceitful and unprofessional conduct. In front of the entire board, he declared Sanders fired. In a final act of goodwill, the chairman told the girls to keep the $4 million. They had their company back. Back at the car wash, life was returning to normal. And Derek? He received a letter. A national television network wanted him to direct a documentary. It was his big break. The girls had not only saved their company, but they had also launched a new career, all thanks to a little bit of fantasy.